Kenyans who were actually affected by yesterday's demos, the business people there, are not the sentiments of KTN News, but they're the sentiments of the business people who've spoken to KTN News. A developing story right there. We'll continue giving you more updates. Let's shift our focus to the ban on logging. And a section of environmentalists are this morning holding a hybrid forum in Nairobi to discuss the lifting of the moratorium on logging by President William Ruto. And my colleague Purity Museo Nzuki is there and now joins us live with the latest update. Nzuki, good morning. Kindly talk to us about this meeting. You know, is this coming also as a day when Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is having a separate meeting with members of Parliament, the Parliamentary Caucus on climate change? What are environmentalists saying when it comes to that pronouncement by President William Ruto?
Absolutely, Brenda. Like you rightfully said, remember conversations regarding how to address the climate challenge then are the most important right now. And so that decision by President William Ruto to lift the 6-year ban on logging got many people talking, not just politicians, but also those in the field of conservation, environmentalists. And so this morning, there is a discussion on whether this ban should have been lifted. If yes, what phases should the government employ to ensure that, again, there are no consequences? Brenda, remember in 2018, while he served as the deputy president, Dr. William Ruto said that when they imposed the ban, they said that it was important to protect the water catchment areas, and also it was important to address the drought that was affecting the country. But right now, conversations ongoing. Why has he lifted this, despite the fact that the country has a commitment globally to ensure that they address the climate change? So that's the conversation going on. Definitely among the experts here, there are those that are saying that yes, this was in order, but there are those that feel that no, it was not the right time to lift this ban. So allow me to engage some of them. And joining me now is a deputy director at KEFRI. Of course, these are the people expected to implement this decision by the government to lift the ban, including Kenya Forest Service, among other state corporation agencies. So let me just engage him, and he'll be telling us why he thinks that this ban could not have come at a better time. Please come just and engage us. Tell us your name, and of course, why do you think it was important for the president to lift this ban on logging?
My name is Dr. James Kemondo from KEFRI, and I think the president has done the right thing in terms of lifting the ban, considering that the plantations we have in this field were planted for a specific purpose. They were not actually planted for conservation. And in that case, once we know the purpose for which they were planted, then actually we should actually aim to achieve that particular target. Now, these plantations cannot serve as conservation areas because they have a lifespan. Most of these plantations are exotic species. Exotic species actually have got a short lifespan of about 30 to 35 years. And after the 35 years, they start falling apart on their own. So in that case, they should be harvested at the right time, that is at 30 years. So in that case, these are supposed to give us as a resource, and in that case, the lifting of the ban was proper. The other thing that we also have to remember is that these plantations have got only less than 6% of the plantation forest area in this country. So we are engaging our minds in such a very small area, which actually gives us so much. The 5,000 hectares that actually we aim to harvest this particular time are supposed to raise almost 9 billion Kenya shillings, which is supposed to go to support the rest of the 94% of the forest, so that we can protect it, we can get the water catchment in proper order, and we save them, so that the harvesting that we are talking about, and I've heard this from the people, is they think that we are opening the whole forest, Mount Kenya, Aberdares, Cherangani, Mount Elgon, but that is not the case. It's only approximately 135,000 hectares of plantation area, and this actually should be harvested. Right. For those people who have got the advantage of traveling this country, they have seen that those plantations have started falling apart. Mm-hmm. Is that why they were planted? No. So.
All right. Thank you so much. I'll be engaging you later. And Brenda, I think it's fair enough to also get to hear those that are opposed to this decision to lift the ban on logging. Maybe in a minute, let me just welcome another expert, and he'll be telling us why he thinks it was not in order for the ban on logging to be lifted. Please just welcome to the program. Please just tell us why you have reservations on this decision.
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity. My name is Michael Babu, a lead member of the Environment Institute of Kenya. Now, this ban is coming barely 6 years after the lifting of the ban is coming barely 6 years after the ban, when the ban was imposed. Now, within 6 years, our forests, from what we can gauge, our forests, the life started coming back into our forests. Rivers started moving, and actually we had started reducing conflicts in the areas that these water towers were part of, or are part of the major areas that supply those areas with water. Now, within 6 years, I feel it's a very short period of time for us to lift the ban and then engage into logging. The reason why we say this, there's data that says that this, there's data of about 150,000 hectares of forest of forest that is ready for harvesting, and it is said that they'll be harvesting 5,000 trees annually. Now, whether it is government land or it is the indigenous forest, the question is, before then, when we had this forest, there was this 1 ton logging of forest that brought up the task force. And the task force identified some of the reason was that the people that were responsible for taking care of this forest actually supervised this 1 ton destruction of forest. How sure are we that with the little progress that we've made in forest development for these water towers, how sure are we that when this thing is done, then we'll not go back to our problems?
Right. Thank you so much. And Brenda, those are some of the conversations that these experts will be having. There are those that are opposed to the lift on the ban, while there are those that are saying that this will go a long way in promoting especially local manufacturing in the country. So I'll be giving you more details on what they say and what the conclusion for this particular discussion will be, because at the end of the day, they have to agree as experts.